Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right time for another Paint with IDIC episode. Today I am painting my gemstones on the Eldar War Walkers. So I've been painting already today. I've managed to get the first two layers down, so now I'm going with the third one. So yeah, I thought I'd just make this video and have a little chit chat whilst I'm painting. Because the last video that I did, people seemed to enjoy that, so I thought I would have another go. So here we are. So I'm just going in now with, as I said, the third layer, which is sunburst yellow. So I went in with the first two layers. The first layer was very close to the base coat, which was Iadin yellow, and the first layer was Iadin yellow with a tiny bit of sunburst yellow added in, and I covered about 3/4 of the actual gemstone with that. I then went in with a 1-to-1 mixture of Iadin yellow and sunburst yellow, and I went in and I did roughly about half of the gemstone with that colour. So now of course I'm going in with this pure sunburst yellow, and I'm doing about a quarter, the bottom quarter of the gemstone with this one. And then once I've done this, I'll have one more highlight, just add some white to this mix, and that will just be right on the bottom edge. And then of course I've just got to do the spot highlights of white. So it's fairly time consuming, but it is definitely worthwhile. And the layers now are starting to get a bit quicker because obviously I've laid down most of the sort of more difficult coats. So this is just, as I said, the bottom quarter. Now making sure that the paint is fairly watery. Well, I say water, I've used the Laham medium, which just makes it sort of almost automatically blend in. It's always quite nice. So today is it's half term this week, so today my daughter is off, so if you can hear any little children noises, that is my daughter playing around. She's currently upstairs. So yeah, I had some great feedback on my last paint along video, so thank you everyone for that. Very encouraging, and certainly sort of encouraged me to do another episode. So I was inspired originally to make this video from Pete from Mini Warzone, so thank you Pete for that. And I'm assuming you're here to watch this video because you're going to be doing a paint along, and of course Pete does his own, he calls it On the Bench series, where he's basically either builds or paints. So if you like these videos, then you'll definitely like those, so go and check Pete out. And also Jamjar34, who does he does his Sunday one. He normally uploads it on a Monday, but he does like a Sunday painting one, and he does actually like Q&A during the series, which is quite nice, quite interesting. So go and check out Jamjar as well. He's also a great guy, really solid guy, and he does pretty much a shout for me on every video of his. So thank you Jamjar for that, appreciate that. I'll put links to their channels in the description. Go and check them out. Okay, really starting to take shape, these gemstones now. I think the key thing with gemstones is making sure you paint all the highlights exactly the same way. In other words, like all of my gemstones on the entire Eldar army, I've got the actual highlights down on the bottom left hand side. If I started mixing that up, maybe have some on the left, some on the right, it's just going to look really odd. So that's one of the key things. I think they're always more daunting than they look, although they are. And obviously I've got 162 of these things to paint on here, but to be fair, it's not that difficult really. It's just a case of just getting on with them. As I said, obviously this coat's going down much quicker than the first two were. So, woven models. So yeah, last time in this first video in the series, I mentioned how much I don't like the new woven models. But as I've always said, don't judge until you've had them yourself. And I've recently watched Brian's video from Templar's Crusade, and he made his woven without any of the weapon options, basically trying to match them into the original models, obviously the ones that I've got, and I have to say they look really good. Yeah, they still got a bit of a chicken feet, but the chicken feet doesn't really stand out so much because of the fact that he's got like bare arms and stuff and bare hands rather than holding all the weapons. Great job, Brian, I have to say. I'm liking the models now, certainly in the configuration that you've done. Now, having said that, I still don't plan on buying any because I've obviously got 20 of the original models. But what it has made me think, because originally I was thinking I'm going to have to convert up my original models, put loads of different arms on to make them all WYSIWYG and stuff. But having seen Brian's models, I don't know that I actually need to do that. My models are proper woven, and the woven models, and I'm playing them how they were made. So I could just put them on the table and just say, right, they've all got Thunderhammer, Storm Shields, or whatever combination I've got, even though they're holding nothing. I think I could probably get away with that. Lots of thinking to do, I think, on the wolves. The first thing I'm going to do is the heavy support. I really need to get some heavy support done. Once I've done these guys, these War Walkers, and the terrain square, I'm going to get cracking with some more Space Wolves. He says, depending on when Warboss does his painting challenge, I am going to paint the Necrons for that challenge. I don't know if it's going to be in May or in June or July or whenever it's going to be this year. I've not really heard anything. I did actually plan on doing a live hangout today, but with my daughter here, I've had a couple of days, she just gets a bit bored, I think, sometimes, so I thought I would do this video instead, and then I can just stop it if I need to attend to her, whereas the live one is more difficult. Now, talking of live hangouts, the Legion of Gamza is going to potentially have its own little hangout show, which I think is a fantastic idea. Whereas a few of the Legion members, not necessarily all of them, but those that can make it, are going to get together on a live chat, and we're going to have a few topics to talk about and have a little discussion on that. I think it's going to be really, really good idea. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to join. There is talk of evenings, of a Wednesday evening, which, I don't know, evenings is difficult for me because most of the time I'm just spending time with my wife in the evenings. A Tuesday I'm normally out because I play snooker on a Tuesday night, and then Thursday night I have my eldest two children round, so obviously I spend time with them. So that's those 2 nights done. The weekends, Saturday and Sunday, is totally dedicated to spending time with my wife and daughter, bearing in mind that I work Saturday and Sundays. So Saturday and Sunday nights like family time. So that only leaves me Friday I game, so I'm out gaming on a Friday. And then, so what's that? Monday. That's all I've got. Monday left. So Monday depends. We don't have anything fixed on a Monday. And Wednesday. Oh yeah, Wednesday. So Wednesday, my wife works on a Wednesday and I'm off, as you know. Occasionally, she will go out straight after work, meet her friends and stuff, which means that I might potentially be able to join the live hangout. I'd like to join it. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So many little bits. Just making sure I didn't get no paint on there. So yeah, doing the little Eldar symbols on a canopy. I won't do all of the highlights on these. I've just done the first ones, and I'll do this one, but this will be the final highlight. I won't go to the next one. So I'd like to do a shout out actually for Tattoo for You. What an awesome guy. Just new to the community. I tell you what, he's just fit into the community so well. He's such a great guy. Always comments on your videos. He's into his Tau. Likes his Tau a lot, and also amazing. Not amazingly, but it's amazing that his daughter is into Tyranids as well. Not sure exactly how old she is. I think she's, forgive me, but I think she's like 8 or 9, 8, something like that. I'm not sure, but that's great to see. So well done to you. Well done to Miss Tattoo for You. Yeah, go and check him out. I'll put a link in the description to everyone that I talk about. But yeah, genuinely really nice guy. He's using the hobby and his channel to help him along the way in life. So I think he's a little bit ill at the moment. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, about Dark Eldar, ooftaZone. I think that's how it's pronounced. He did a fantastic video for me on the Dark Eldar. Basically, he did like loads of different combinations of some 500 point ideas with the models that I've got, which was really useful. So thank you so much for that. Again, I'll put a link in the description. I just got it in my head that I want to get 2 raiders for my army. I'm still on the lookout for 2 of those. What I have got though, which I think is an absolute bargain, is I have managed to get myself a Star Trek Attack Wing Borg fleet. Now I'm not 100% sure exactly what the ship names are, but it's got 2 small spheres. I'm not going to paint the blue tack there. So I'm painting these and then putting them on the blue tack lid to dry before I put them back on the table. So it's got 2 spheres. It's got like an odd shaped one, like a triangle-y, squarey thing. It's not a very good description, this, is it? And then it's got a small cube and a slightly bigger cube, not the massive one. I've no idea what they're all called, but basically there's 5 ships with all the cards and the bases and everything. I'm still waiting for it to arrive, but I have paid for it. 35 quid. the lot. £3 postage, which is pretty reasonable. So I was really chuffed with that. I thought it was a bargain. I mean, I worked it out. That's about 60 quid's worth retail, probably, easily. So I am very happy with that. Now, I didn't go out to get a Borg fleet. I mean, I just like Star Trek, full stop. But I must admit, I have been a bit attracted to the Borg side of things, which surprised me because I really enjoyed playing the Enterprise, and I am a bit of a Federation boy, but there was just something about the Borgs which I just really really attracted me. So looking forward to playing that. And the best thing really is that my buddy seems to be really into the game as well. He really likes it, which is obviously always a bonus, because if I had no one to play, then obviously I probably wouldn't have bothered investing in them. But just the fact that he's really into it, he's actually gone out and bought the box set for himself. So yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So my magnetising tutorial went up today. Got a dislike on that. Actually, I got 2 dislikes on the video before that, just showing the model finished. That was a bit odd. I can only assume that people were hitting the video thinking they were going to find out how to magnetise it, and then obviously didn't. But I did say, you know, the tutorial video is coming up tomorrow. So I don't know. Yeah, 2 dislikes. Dislikes doesn't bother me. I totally accept that obviously the bigger your channel gets, the more you share your videos around everywhere, and the more chance you've got, you know, to interact with a disliker. Okay, so that's them. So they're going to dry, so just make sure that's dried. Well, that is dry, so I can take that off, put it onto the desk, and now I've got this one free to put the next gun on. So yeah, I follow obviously Warboss Tae, like probably most of us do, and he has what I always call a phantom disliker. I mean, he'll upload a video, and as you know, I'm usually pretty quick at watching videos. Even when I get to Warboss's video, there's always a dislike. It's like the instant he uploads a video, someone goes in and dislikes it. I find it funny. Someone's actually following someone just to dislike their videos. I mean, yeah. I'll probably end up with a load of dislikes on this video now I've just said all this. So I have ordered, I don't have it yet, I have ordered the new Wolven campaign thingy, not the limited edition one, just the standard one. I've got that coming from Martin McNeil from WarGames. Looking forward to getting that. I think it's one of those items that I just couldn't not get, so I just had to get it, just even from the sort of collector's point of view. I've also got the white dwarfs. I bought a couple of white dwarfs with the wolf stuff in. Now I used to collect white dwarf on subscription, you know, the old one, and when they changed it I decided not to do it anymore. What I was finding was most of the time the white dwarf didn't have much that I was interested in, and the collector side of me was why I was buying it, because I thought it was nice to have it as a collection. But when they changed it, I just made this conscious decision that I wasn't going to collect the new one. So I just buy an occasional one when I want it, if it's got something of interest in, and then just have it, but not actually collect it as such. Now there is a danger with that, in not having all the books, and that is, you never know the future. So for example, like now I'm doing Dark Eldar, so then probably think, I wish I had all the white drawers of the Dark Eldar stuff in, I could go and check it all out. But I suppose in today's climate, with all the internet options, it's not really too much of an issue, because you can look everything up online, can't you now? So last night, now you would have seen the video or before this one, but last night I made, or I didn't make, but I looked at making my Dark Eldar Viper Venom conversions from Vipers, and I came up with loads of different ideas, and obviously what you've just seen is pictures of all those ideas together. Couldn't quite work out which one I liked the best, so I've sort of put it up and hope that people will vote on it, and maybe if the one of them gets the most votes, the most popular, I'll probably run with that one. I had to use obviously only the bits that I've got in that bag of bits that I bought, and then not only that, but I had to make sure that I had 3 of everything that I could, because obviously I want to make 3 Venoms. You alright there?
Yeah.
What have you done?
Nothing.
Nothing. Why are you crawling around looking under the sofa? So obviously, again, it's pretty unplanned. I think unplanned videos is the way to do these painting chats. And it's okay, maybe you could have a topic, I suppose, to talk about, but I just like randomly just waffle, and hopefully what I waffle about is interesting enough for you to listen to whilst you paint. So yeah, tonight I've got snooker. I'm playing a local league. The team isn't doing that well at the moment, to be fair. We've done quite well overall over the years. I mean, we've come second before in the first. We're in the first division. There's 2 divisions. We came second, but there's one team that just sort of wins every year. So the best team that sort of no one can really beat. Having said that, we beat them this year. It was really odd because we started the league off really well. We played the people that win it all the time, and we managed to beat them. The way it works is there's 6 members of a team, and you play 2 frames each, so it's out of 12 frames. And we beat them 7-5. After we beat them, it all went downhill from us, and the next teams that we played for the next 6 months, we've done really badly against. It's really weird. So we've got no hope of winning it this year, or even getting second place. But it's all good fun. It's a handicap league, so the handicaps range from 0, what we call scratch, going up to 45. So the biggest start that someone can give is 45, and you get reassessed every 8 frames. Your handicaps gets reassessed. And as I said, the team's not been doing that well. My handicap's gone from 9. I was on 9. Now I'm on 21. Can't believe it. Just had like a really bad run. And the stupid thing is, I haven't been playing bad. I've been playing actually well, but just things haven't worked out for me. I've either got like a bad matchup, or the person I'm playing is like playing their best snooker ever. It just happens to be the night that I played them. You know, one game I played, and he absolutely blasted me off the table. And then afterwards they said, "Oh, that's the best I've ever played." So like, "Oh, thanks." On the night that I'm playing you, so I'm just getting a bit of a bad run, really. But I know things will change, like they always do. As long as I play well, I'm happy. I used to play snooker a lot, so now I only play once a week. I only play on match night, so if I can maintain a half decent standard for only playing once a week, then I'm happy. But in the old days, I used to play it all the time. Snooker is one of my biggest passions, really. When I was young, you know, I used to go to snooker straight after work, get a couple of hours in practice. That's what I love about this hobby here, really, is that most of it, if not all of it, can be done at home, which is good, especially when you've got a family. So doing the bright lances here. I suppose I could ask if there's a particular topic that you would like me to discuss whilst painting. Not necessarily questions, because obviously I have my Q&A. But if there was a topic that you'd like me to have a chat about, then yeah, why not stick a comment in the box below for the next one. So I think I'll definitely do some more of these. I do enjoy them. I was slightly annoyed by the last video, because right at the beginning, when I'm introducing the series and doing a little shout for Pete, the music, I didn't actually shorten down the music, and it continued over when I was talking for that first like 10 seconds. Now normally I would have probably just like deleted it off of YouTube and just redone it and re-uploaded it, but on the day that I uploaded it I had major issues with the internet. It took me 7 hours to upload that 40-minute video for some reason, and it took so long that I just couldn't be bothered to redo it with a new title, so a bit annoying. But there you go, that's life, isn't it? Now, for some reason, that's because I'm talking, I'm painting on that pot. And someone is being quite noisy as well in the room. Someone with long black hair. Alright?
Yeah.
So when I painted the first layer of these gemstones, I had on my palette the original base coat colour as well, so that I could just almost clean up the base colour, because not that much, but occasionally I'd have like a little bit of wash or something just over there, or the edge wasn't quite like nice. So whilst I was putting down the first highlight, I was also just touching up the base coat. It's pretty subtle, these gemstones, but once they are done and they're finished, enough makes a difference to the purple. It really does make the purple pop out. So Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics, he put up his LVO like final report video earlier today, which I obviously watched. He was saying that out of the 6 games that he had, 5 of them was against Eldar. Obviously there were a lot of other armies there, and he counted himself unlucky to have to play Eldar all the time. Bearing in mind he was taking Eldar as well. But it just shows you, doesn't it, how much Eldar are in the top tier, I suppose. Everyone's playing them. Don't know how many Necron armies were there. I know that Ace played against Necrons, but I would have thought there would have been a lot of Necron armies there. Sounds like most of the armies are pretty much the same sort of lists. I suppose there's only so many like tournament worthy lists that you can make. So Ace is going to be going back next year, and he's going to be taking his Tyranids, so I'm sure I will be having some practice games against his Tyranids. It's going to be interesting. Right, that's the Bright Lances done. A quick drink of coffee. I had a phone call today from someone who started the phone call off saying that she was from from TalkTalk. Now, bearing in mind that I am with TalkTalk on my phone, and you may or may not know, but TalkTalk had a bit of an issue where all of the private information basically was stolen, all the customers' details. So anyway, I had this. It's not the chair, right? There we go. I had this phone call. Someone said, "Oh yeah, I'm from BT." Keep saying that. I'm from TalkTalk. Have you been experiencing any internet problems? Well, I think like every man and his dog is going to say yes, even if you've got the most up-to-date, latest broadband, whatever, super fast you've got. And everyone's going to have internet problems, aren't they? So of course I said, well, yeah, I have actually. She goes, yes, it's coming up on our records that you're having issues. I said, oh right, okay then. She goes, yeah, we'd like to sort it out. I said, okay, no problem. She goes, yeah, can you turn your computer on? I thought, here we go, this is a scam. She goes, yeah, can you turn the computer on? I'll show you exactly where the problem is. And obviously what they wanted me to do was turn the computer on and get all my personal information, etc. So I said, no thanks, don't think I will. She goes, what did she say? She said, oh, you don't want to do it even though you're having problems? I said, no, I think I'm fine, thanks. She said, oh well, this is your only chance, she said. No one from TalkTalk will be able to run through it with you again. It's like, as if. So I just said, oh no, I'm absolutely fine. And then she just hung up. So I phoned up TalkTalk and let them know. But yeah, it was such an obvious scam. Trouble is, obviously I was pretty savvy to it, but you do hear stories of people who just take it for granted that it's a real thing, And it is a shame because people do get caught out. So, something I saw the other day which interested me was a video by the Dark Artisan. He's got this new gaming room, and in his gaming room he's got all of his models on display, which I do really like the idea of having all the models on display. I think Mike from why did I mention that? Now I've got to say his name. Mike from cruorangelussilicis. Yeah, Mike. He's got his armies out in his display cabinets as well. Now Mike's got like doors on his, like front doors. I don't think Harry from the Dark Artisan has. Now what really concerns me, probably because I'm just fussy, I've always said it, I am a fussy person. What really would concern me is like dust, getting dust on my models. I think even if you had cabinets with doors which close, you're still going to get dust in there on your models and that. And I've seen some quite dusty models on my travels, and I don't know, it just almost gets ruined, I think. So what do you think about that? I mean, I keep all of my models in my cases, just 100% trying to keep them protected. Trouble is, it would be really, really cool to have your armies out on display, and I can understand why people do it. But then there's that other side of me who thinks, oh, they're going to just get ruined. Right, so I just got to go in with the base coat there, because I've just gone over the purple slightly. Cool. Right, now I'm still using the artificer layer, even for this, these sections here. I might have to switch to a smaller brush when I get to the next layer. I'll have to see how I get on. Done that one. So I'm building the monolith at the moment, making that at work. If I'm building something, I do take it to work sometimes to build it. Just do a little bit every day on my lunch break. I only get half an hour lunch break, but at least gives me like 10-15 minutes to do a little bit of hobby. And yeah, I'm building the monolith, which I always remember that monolith being a bit of a pain to put together. And to be fair, it was a bit of a pain still this time, but it was a lot easier than I remember. I suppose because I was used to it more experienced now at model making. But the key thing with it, for me anyway, is when you're building it, and the instructions say do the centerpiece and then 2 sides. And then it says do the other 2 sides. Well, again, I've done the bright lance. That's talking, you see. There we go. Well, if you did that, if you just put 2 sides on and let it dry totally, you've got no hope in hell of getting the other 2 sides on properly. You've got to do it all in one go while it's all wet and movable with the plastic glue. And then you definitely need elastic bands, just elastic band it together. So I've got the bottom section done at the moment, that's at work drying. And then I've just got to do the top section. It actually looks pretty cool without the top section on. Obviously I'm going to put the top section on just to match it in with my other one that I've got. I do like the monolith, I think it is an awesome model. And having gone many years with the monolith being my only tank that I owned, it does have a place in my heart, I suppose. Okay, so that's the missile launchers done. So now we're going on to the last guns, which are the star cannons. He's got quite big gemstones on these ones. So what I'm doing is, rather than just going straight across, I'm sort of like arcing it slightly, so it's going like down and then up slightly. I do have a tutorial on painting yellow gemstones in my archives, but it's done with my old camera and my old light system, and it's pretty low quality. You can't really see what I'm doing, although I did explain it all. I have a missile launcher there. Have I done that? Yeah, I did that one. So the train square competition coming up soon. I've got my idea sort of ready. I've got lots of ideas for one piece, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but I think I've decided I'm just going to wing it and just go for it and see what happens. Sometimes that's always the best, just to randomly see what happens. But yeah, I got really good response, so I hope you're all looking forward to either joining in or at least seeing everyone's builds. Usually we get fantastic response and entry, and there's loads and loads of awesome pieces of terrain being done, so it's always fantastic to see. And what I really love about making terrain is it's pure imagination terrain. You know, okay, converting models and that, that's a lot of imagination needed there and skill. But with terrain, it's literally just whatever the world is open to you to do whatever you like. The main reason why I did the terrain, I mean, the first year that I did it was because Dread Lun, who's also now knows SolventAbuseUk, he was going to do a terrain making thing, and he put a video up saying, I think I might do it, and I thought, what a fantastic idea. So I got my square ready for when he announced it, and it never happened. I think like a year went past, and I remember emailing him and I said, I've still got this piece of terrain ready to go, are you going to do it? I think he basically said, no, I probably won't now. So I said, do you mind if I do it? And he said, no, please do. So that's where the original idea came from. And of course I've put a little twist on it every year. This year it's that circle competition. I've got a fantastic idea for next year already. So yeah, really, really looking forward to it. You putting on the telly? Yeah, you can watch your telly, just don't have it too loud, that's fine. Yeah?
Would you please help me with that? I can't open it.
Can't open what? The juice? Yep. There we go. Thirsty, are you? Right, now then, I'll do it there. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, what I'm going to do is finish up. I've got 2 more star cannons, this layer. And before I go to the next layer, I'm going to have a quick look, see if I've got any emails. I've got my phone on silent at the moment, but I notice it's flashing, so something's going on. It's always exciting when you get an email come through, you never know what it's going to say. Still get quite a few comments on my older videos. I still go in and reply to them. I've really enjoyed making that video showing off my avatar with the new camera. Wow, I mean that new camera just showed the avatar off exactly like it is in real life. Really, really good. Okay, so that is that layer done on everything. So now, have a quick look at my phone. Yes, I have a really, really ancient phone. Can't even go on the internet. So just a reply from GREE-C EM-JEE. Nice one, Nick. Oh, I've read these ones, right. New activity on your how to magnetize from Tabletop Banter. What a monster to mag. Good job, mate. Thank you, Gadam. New activity on Year of the Wolf 40. Ah, now I bet this is Jam Jar because he's running through my series. Oh right, okay. He's put one of those. He's put a load of like picture faces, and I can't read them on my phone. I have to go to the laptop to see that. Year of the Wolf 41. Again, I can't read it. Sorry, Jam Jar, I can't read them. I'm assuming it's you anyway. Pezzapoo. Yeah, I made a comment on his Wasteman 35 a pop little video. Nice little game that looks like. Just says nice vid, mate. I said nice vid. He said, what did he say? Thanks, Nick, mate. There you go. So many, so many ways you can say like good video or nice minis. I try to vary it as much as I can. Sometimes the comments just come out the same. Okay, so that is all those done. So now get my piece of paper because I have all of my paint scheme written down. So gemstones. So I've just done the sunburst one. So now we're looking at sunburst and white 1-to-1 ratio. Okay. So now I'm going to put some white in, assuming I can find the white. I'm not very prepared, obviously. Where's the white? That's one huge disadvantage with not having a proper hobby room. It's not always easy to find stuff. Okay, here's the white. Got my star cannon on it. Right, I'm going to take these star cannons off the blue tack. Okay, shake the white up. Add some to the yellow. Right, these gemstones are really going to pop now that I start with this last layer. Right, so that's that there. I'm going to put a little bit of the medium stuff. Not too much, just a tiny bit, because yellow is actually quite a thin paint anyway. Right, put that there. Stops it from drying so quick as well. Even though I'm on the wet palette, so it all helps. Right, a drink. Okay, so here we go again. So this time just the very bottom edge with this colour. So these bigger gems I'm going to be fine with this paintbrush. I'm possibly going to have to move down in size for the smaller ones. We'll have to see how we get on. Just getting used to the consistency and stuff at the moment when I first start out. Cool, yeah, they're looking good. Right. Got a hair coming out. not talking at the moment, just I'm trying to just get used to what I'm doing here, because obviously this is slightly different. Got to be a little bit more careful with this one. Got to get a nice shape to it, and also not too much. So if you put it over too much, it won't have the desired sort of pop effect of just being on the bottom edge. I actually forgot I was recording then. I'm just like painting away. Forgot you were there, guys, sorry. What else can I talk about? So I've got a very exciting new series coming up very shortly, which is hopefully going to make my battle reports a lot more exciting. I'm not going to give the game away too much here, but yeah, watch this space on my channel because I've got some fun stuff coming up. End of year stock take coming up at work very soon. It's always a fun time of the year. I was thinking about having a game 40k with my daughter, because I started my son off when he was 7, although I think realistically he didn't really guess. I don't think he was old enough to understand until he was 8. And my daughter is 7.5, so I don't know, she might be able to get into it at this age. Let's ask her. Asia, how do you fancy playing a game with Daddy's models? No? Why not?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It's not interesting.
Only a small game, not like the big ones that Daddy plays.
Okay.
You can roll the dice and move the men.
Okay.
You'd like to do that, would you? Okay. There you go, see? Got a new 40k player. It worries me slightly because her dice rolling is actually really good. When we play games with dice, she always rolls 6s. Don't you? Yeah. Yeah, she's very good at rolling 6s. I've got my work cut out, I think, there. So there is another little channel I'd like to do a little mention of, and that is Hooves of Doom. If you haven't heard of his channel, go and check the link out. Now it's fair to say he mainly does fantasy or Age of Sigmar or whatever you want to call it, but he's also doing some 40k, has done some 40k, he's recently had a game of 40k, but he's a really just great all-round guy. Always comments on my videos, and he's always got good, interesting content up. It's well worth having a look at. Starting to get exciting now, nearly finishing these. I'm going to have to write a new list that has these in them so I can play them. So elstonation and E-TRON, I think it's called now. Yeah, E-TRON. They are doing like this build models in a month. Like every day they've been uploading videos of what they've been building. It's a great little series. They've got some great models between them. They're going to have a lot of models to paint at the end of the month. So it'll be like build in a month series, and it'll be like paint in 6 month series. And I've pretty much done what they've done before. I pretty much built my entire Eldar army before I painted anything, because my local shop was closing down, and they had a closing down sale, and at the time I had money at the time, so I just went in. I just bought a load of stuff. I spent probably about 150 quid. Just bought like loads of Eldar, and then I just built it all in one go. Okay, so onto the guns. So you can see they're not taking as long as maybe you think. And as I said, the first 2 layers probably took a bit longer. Of course, I do have a very minimal paint scheme for my gemstones. No, not paint scheme, sorry, but the quantity of gems. I've painted a very small percentage of the actual gemstones that are supposed to be on here. I'm not actually a huge fan of gemstones. I like a few because I think they do add something to it. But I think it gets to a certain point, you've got so many gemstones it just looks a bit silly. Okay, so I am back. I'm back because I just realised that the video thing had stopped recording. I'm not sure how long ago, but it seems like I can only continuously record for 1 hour using this Windows Movie Maker which I'm using. So I'm not sure exactly where I've got up to on that video, but where I am in painting terms is on that last layer of yellow. I've gone up to the bright lances. I've just got the star cannons and the missile launchers to do. So I'm just going to continue on. I just watched back and I was talking about I had a minimalistic gemstone scheme. So I've definitely been waffling on about some other stuff as well since you watched it. But there you go. How long do you think a paint with IDIC should be? Do you think I should just have a set time, like maybe, I don't know, half an hour or an hour or 2 hours, or do you think I should just make it random so that, basically just do what I feel like? What would you say is the maximum amount of time you would probably paint with me? A slight issue here because I can't remember exactly what you've heard, and I don't want to repeat myself again, so I'm going to set myself a goal. I'm going to finish doing this layer of the gemstones, and then I'm going to stop recording, and I'll go in. The only thing I'll have left to do is to go in with a little white dot just in the top right hand corner of all the gemstones. So then hopefully you'll check in when the when the next update video comes, so you can actually see this gemstone a bit closer, because obviously on the laptop you can't really see what I'm doing here. You'll be able to see them in the next update, all finished, so hopefully you'll like them. Talking of showcases, and well, you may have seen me heard me talk about Spider, but yeah, Spider 666. He's just done a couple of showcase videos of his armies. Wow, they look really lovely. He's got an Orc army, and he's also got a Salamander's army. So they do look really, really good. Now, talking of Salamanders, Clayton, 33 Clay Dog, he recently got himself a Land Raider, I think it's a Land Raider Crusader, and he was wondering what to paint them in, and he was thinking about Salamanders. Well, I've painted Salamanders stuff before, a Dreadnought. I have to say, painting Salamanders is a lot of fun, because you've got like so many extra bits and pieces you can do. You've obviously got, there's scowls you can do, there's fire and flames, there's like a dragon, dragon head and stuff. So I would say that it's probably a good choice, Clayton. I know I joked around and said you should paint a 13th Company one and send it to me. But no, I mean, it's fair to say that Salamanders, from painting point of view, is probably up there with one of the better Space Marine chapters for flexibility and options and testing your painting skills, and in Clayton's case, doing some really cool freehand. Right, one more missile launcher. Okay, so I'm pretty sure, now this may just be a total repeat of what you've heard, but I'm pretty sure that I talked about this whilst it wasn't recording. But yeah, options, weapon options for the War Walkers. What do you think I should go for? Now, I know it does depend. I really hope you haven't heard all this, because it's going to be pretty boring if you have. I know it depends on what other units you have in your list, what other weapon options. So if you have a lot of like anti-tank, then you probably don't need anti-tank and War Walkers. You know, I appreciate that. But as a ballpark gun, what would you say? I'm thinking scatter lasers, because they have the range and a good amount of shots. Now, I appreciate they don't have what you would get with shuriken cannons, which is AP2 on 6s, but let's face it, there's usually cover saves around anyway, and the range of the scatter lasers and extra shots is really useful. So I'm thinking scatter lasers. And my old army list that I had, because I do have one War Walker that was painted for me by Dunk 1978 Banker, and I use that War Walker, or I used to anyway, a little flanking unit. Used to come on from reserve and flank, and he was that was a really nice little unit, very cheap, but a good little distraction unit. I might play these War Walkers in. I might have one unit of 2, and then have a single War Walker that also flanks, possibly. I'm not really sure. That's why I'm painting all the options, because then I can just do whatever I want. You know, experiment, change it up each week. Three left. The reason why I'm holding these rather than using the paint pot is because I've got to twirl them round, and just a lot easier to paint them just like this basically, rather than on the paint pots. Also, you just have to make sure my hand's clean when I touch the white. Right, last 2. I will attempt to put everyone that I've mentioned in this video, I will attempt to put the link in the description. Hopefully I will be able to do that. I'll obviously have to watch it back and see exactly who I've talked about. I will have a go for you guys, because there's nothing worse than somebody doing a shout out for someone, and then you go into the box to try and find the link to who they've shouted to and you can't find it. Right, there you go. So I have done that layout and everything. So all I've got to do now is go in with the white, do like a little white dot on the top right hand corner. I will use my smaller brush for that. Now that's the gemstones done. So yeah, really hope you enjoyed doing this little painting chat with me once again. Like I said, I look forward to reading your comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.